What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my 2024 mock draft for the Indianapolis Colts. So whether you're a Colts fan or you just love mock drafts, stay tuned because I got some players in here I want to talk about. Now, at the end of the day, I'm just a guy in his living room filming this. I'm a freelance NFL journalist and podcaster, all that good stuff. But I did a lot of research on these guys, and I feel that if I'm wrong on the name, I hope I'm right on the position. So that way the Colts could actually sneak their way into the 2024 playoffs, for the 2024-2025 season. So let's jump into it. First person off the board. Now, please forgive me. Give me some grace if I mess up this name. Tice Faga. And it says, Faga's elite power and explosiveness serve as a high ceiling traits, but Faga is much more refined and much more actionable as a day one starter as he gets credit for. So this guy is all that in a bag of chips. He is a guy who is a day one starter. He's going to come right in there and protect the quarterback that you guys drafted last year, okay? Now, when it comes to run game, he maximizes his power, sharp angles, awareness. You can see him running down the field, knocking back defenders to get extra yards for the running back. He has a finisher's mentality. So this guy, he embodies of what it is to be an Indianapolis Colt. 6'6", 334. That is something to not turn a cheek over to, right? Then the next person I have on the board. Now, I want to have a little conversation about Jatavian Sanders, okay? Now, on these mock draft websites, they're not going to have all the players there that other websites are going to take and have, or that they should have, right? And the knowledge that I have, right? This guy's 6'3", 235 pounds. Y'all, he is a receiving tight end who can get you lots of yards. Now, I looked up the stats last year for the tight ends on the Indianapolis Colts. Let's look at Kylan Granson. 30 receptions, 368 yards, and 1 touchdown. It's very vanilla. That's very meh. It doesn't stand out to me, right? Then we move over to Mo Alley Cox, 13 receptions, 161 yards, but 3 touchdowns. Now, if you combine these stats, okay, maybe you have a mid-range tight end, but look, man, you got to have as many weapons as possible for your quarterback's development. Has to take and be that, man. You have a guy who's coming off of an injury. He was becoming to a second year as a starter in the NFL. And if you have somebody who could bail you out, who can also block and run different schemes, Jatavian Sanders is that guy. Now, they have decent receivers, and I wanted to go really receiver heavy and offensive line, but there's a lot of needs for the Colts because they are in rebuilding mode. That being said, possibly one of the most productive cornerbacks in this year's NFL draft is Chris Abrams-Draine. Hopefully I said that right. 5'11", 179 pounds. Twitchy, man. You can't get one over on this guy. Not only is he one of the most productive cornerbacks in the draft, he amassed 14 pass deflections. So people like to test him. Quarterbacks like to test him. Guys, he's athletic, he's chippy mentality, very versatile, and he is a solid slot corner, man. This guy is going to shut down and end a lot of dreams for a lot of guys if he's selected. Again, Chris Abrams-Draine. This guy is a baller. Then we have offensive guard from TCU, Brandon Coleman. He was on that team last year, and for those who remember, they have Kendre Miller, who was one of the best running backs in all of college football last year. He's currently on the Saints doing his thing. This guy is 6'4", 320. He was part of that offensive line from last year and this year as well, too. He's a powerful blocker. He can play tackle. Probably would be just a true guard at this, right? Sometimes stiff in the lower body from what one of the, from what Ian Valentino takes and says about him. But other than that, he does very, very well against speedy guys. And if you get an angle on him, you could possibly make some plays. But this is a guy, I think, in 1 to 2 years, he could potentially be a full-time starter for the Indianapolis Colts. And then moving on, my next pick in this year's mock draft is Shamar Turner. Shamar Turner is dope, man. Once he's about 6'1". I think he got about like 5 or 6 sacks last year. Very, very good edge rusher for Texas A&M. Had a few forced fumbles as well, too, so he can create plays for you as well. Little on the lighter side, but he's a very, very speedy edge rusher. Then we got Kenneth Horsey. Out of his 5-year college career, he had 4 starts 4 years of starting. That'd be terrible if he had 4 starts. Excuse me. He had 4 years of starting. So you think about the success of that team and how competitive they've been. Kenneth Horsey's been there. Now, he is coming off of an injury. It wasn't a season-ended injury. He's coming off of an injury. So I think as long as he has a solid pro day and does well in the NFL Combine, Kenneth Horsey's going to ball out. It's in the name. He's a horse, right? No, really, he's an awesome guy. Now, I do have Kenneth joining me on my show. So if you're not familiar with this show, I do NFL pre-draft prospect interviews. I have the actual players. I think I'm at like 80 or 81 interviews so far. So having a lot of fun with it. But Kenneth is that guy. Kenneth is super dope, super intelligent. He's a man of the community. He actually had open heart surgery before his college career. So all the adversities came through, man. And he's been pretty healthy for the most part his whole college career. Great on the pass block, great on the run block, and running down the field to create more plays for the running backs. Kenneth Horsey is a great guy. I think because that injury, he does slide a little bit. Otherwise, in my opinion, he's a top 100 pick in this year's draft, if not top 120. But I have him here 175. And then the last person I want to take and talk about is Josh Cephus, all-time leading receiver for UTSA. Now, I've seen this guy play with my own 2 eyes, and this is another interview I'm going to try to get on the show. I'm talking with his people, and we're trying to make it happen. But last year, 10 touchdowns, 1,151 yards, 89 receptions, 12.9 yards was average. Dude balled out. I think he had like over 160 yards out of 9 receptions against a USF. And I was actually at that game. So to see him, and he's a yak machine, while 12.9 is his average. There's some games, dude, where he's just a hard man to tackle, y'all. Now, the year before last, in 2022, he had 985 yards. 2021, he had 803 yards. So you see, and even before that, it was 153, because this is his 5th year of college football. So 153, 547, 803, 985, 1151. He is getting better. I'm excited to see what he does at the next level. In my opinion, he's already playing at an NFL elite level. He's a solid day 3 pick just because people hate on UTSA as not being like a premier school, but that is changing because that coach over there, he is turning around that program and cranking out. I mean, Tyreek Woolen, one of the best DBs in the league for the Seattle Seahawks, came from there, right? So they're cranking out NFL players every single year at this point, kind of similar to Tulane. Like Tulane, they have many years where they had nobody in the NFL, right? But Tulane is now cranking them out every single year. So great program to watch out for it. But I could see him in a place like the Colts. I want to say they had a pre-draft interview with him, and he's done very, very good in his workouts, getting lots of interviews and lots of attention from NFL teams. So anywho, that's my mock draft for the Indianapolis Colts. Y'all comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Follow me on social media. I got my stuff on the screen there at Touchdown with Doug Smith on Facebook and Instagram. And then on Twitter, I'm at TouchdownDoug. I cover the whole NFL, not just Indianapolis Colts. Lifelong Miami fan, actually. But I try to show love and be as non-biased as possible and make sure I get the absolute best people for your guys' team. And make sure I'm doing you guys justice as well, too. I'm a football purist at the end of the day. And, man, this is what I do. So I'll catch you guys next time. God bless you. Thank you for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where we have exclusive NFL content and exclusive NFL interviews. Be sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. Follow us on social media. See you on the next one.